Yeah, episode 800. Why do we humans seem to have the need to put significance on certain numbers? Like, why does 800 sort of ring a bell? Why is number 7 lucky and number 13 unlucky? When we get to episode 1000, yeah, maybe we'll have a party or something. Well, we'll see what happens. No promises. Maybe I'll make an extra pizza. And speaking of pizza, last Sunday on Pizza Day, I forgot to make a big deal about it, and one of the viewers actually said something about, did I have pizza? Well, yes, I did. I just didn't make a big deal about it. Earlier this morning, I was checking our local news on Google. I'm sure most of you do that. Well, a few of you anyway. So it gives our local news, and I'm going down the headlines here, and I'm scrolling through them. And let's see if I can find it again. I hope they didn't remove it since last time I looked. Oh, there it is. Okay, Winnipeg Hobby Shop closes after nearly 50 years in business. And then I look at the picture. Cellar dweller. My goodness. So I thought to myself before I read what happened, well, they should have gone online. I think maybe I was talking about that, how if you want to buy anything from Cellar Dweller, you either have to go in or you had to phone them. But apparently that's not the reason they're giving. A lot of you will remember Kerry. Well, apparently he passed away after a brief illness. Didn't say what the illness was, but I guess soon after we took this picture, Kerry came down with something, and a few months ago he had died. Very few months ago. I think it was January the 7th. Anyway, I just thought I'd mention that. It's where we bought the Bismarck and the Hood. Okay, let's move on. Let's get back to the model table here. Well, everything is pretty much the way we left it from yesterday after we had our unboxing. And I'm still, you might say, in a bit of shock after reading the local news this morning. It's kind of hard to believe here. Yeah, and as you can tell, I'm trying out our new camera. Yesterday I experimented around a little bit with it, and I didn't try the sound, so I don't know if it's doing a good job right now on sound or not. And in all likelihood, the next lens I'm going to want to be using in this is not the macro lens. So we'll just get our regular wide angle in. This one that I'm putting on right now, for you Nikon buffs or camera buffs, is my it goes from 35 millimeter and then it opens up wide angle to 16 millimeter. It's a pretty good lens. But what I like about it is that when I've got it adjusted to 35, I can get to about this far from the front of the lens, and a lot of the shots I take are like that. And anyway, yeah, let's get ourselves organized here and see if we can't do something. You know what? Where's my manual? It's way over here on the other side of the table. See if I can reach across without knocking everything over, dragging my big tummy out over everything. Okay, here we go. Yeah, let's recompose here, and we'll start using this camera. And you know what? I think we're done with step 53. Now, one of the viewers had asked me, what is the difference, or at least I think that's what he wanted to know, the difference between the macro lens and the super macro. Well, obviously there's the difference is size. It's not a case of I I screw something on the front of the macro lens to turn it into a super macro. I wasn't sure what he was asking there. It's two separate lenses. I said if I have the time, or remember rather, I will show you. The super macro, it doesn't, you don't really focus it, but what you do is you extend it out like this to get it to its maximum magnification. It'll go all the way from 2.5 to 5 times 1 to 1, if you know what I mean, or from 2.5 to 1 to 5 to 1. I'll get it right yet, folks. Anyway, this lens here, this super macro, is completely manual. Everything has to be done manually. Whereas this one is all electronic and it's operated by the camera. Whereas this one, it's strictly manual lens. I actually like that sort of thing. The automatic is nice. Mind you, the auto ISO in the camera will work with this lens. So that's a bonus. Anyway, that's I said I'd show it if I remember, and I more or less remembered. Thanks for asking, by the way. Okay, we are done with 53. Yeah, 53 was just the ladders, and they're all done and bent. So when we move on to 54, we can put a few pieces down, like our Martian pizza delivery people, servers. Yeah, they can go down because they're all painted and everything. But we need some railing here. Now we can't put the ladders in place until they're painted. And I'm noticing over here at the end of 54, there's a special piece of photo etch that has to be put together. And it looks like it's made up of 3 pieces of photo etch, and I'm thinking that maybe here's where I'll be able to use my soldering iron and solder these pieces on. Yeah, but as far as the railings go, we can't glue them down until they're painted. So I think we can go ahead and glue some pieces down today. I'm thinking out loud again. I know, I'm sorry. But I don't know how much we're going to get done here. Well, let's just get at it here. Okay, I think maybe we should do a bit of a dry run here and see how these little pegs are going to fit in these holes. It could be that I'm going to want to be enlarging them. Yeah, I think so. Now, I did get it out, but it took longer than I thought. I just want to see if maybe dissolving this peg a little bit with some quick setting, we might be able to get it in. I guess I'm getting lazy. I didn't want to have to drill these holes out. Maybe we'll do a little bit more here. Wonder what would happen if we put some quick setting. Oh, that's way too much. Put some on the hole there. Yeah. Okay. And I do believe that's the way they're supposed to go. Maybe this one should maybe be facing a little bit more this way, being as it's sort of in the corner. All right, let's try some more here. Oh, it's kind of got gum stuck on the bottom of it there. Well, it's going to have more gum stuck on the bottom in a minute here. Okay, let's do another one. I don't know, this one isn't going down, is it? Maybe instead of the quick setting, I should just use the regular extra thin. This is evaporating too quickly. There we go. Okay, we've got 4 more to go. There's 3 on the opposite side like this, mirror image to this, and then there's 1 in the dead center. I want to be careful here. I'm going to end up scratching the gray paint off of these. Does that look like it's down? No, it doesn't, does it? There we go. Not quite the right angle for this. Here. Oh, now I got it on my finger. I got plenty on that time. Now these do not all have to be at the same angle, I don't think. I do believe that most likely this entire thing, seat and everything, would swivel a little bit. Now that's just my opinion. I could be wrong. I have to angle it just a little bit here. Get these out of the way. Oh, for Pete's sake. Could be I'm going to have to re-wet this one. Why is this not going? Oh, I see what's happening. My tweezer's bumping on this one here. Okay, maybe I should turn this one just a little bit. It's a little bit too much. Yeah, it's somewhat better. Gotta be careful what I grab onto there, or I'm going to end up breaking the seat off. Okay, that looks pretty good. From my perspective, I'm looking more or less straight down on it. Okay, now, see if I can turn this. And you can see there's a hole right here. Now, I almost made a mistake. It's not a pizza server that goes there. It's one of these things right here. I'll just wet the bottom here. Okay, I think this should go okay. All right. Excuse me. You can't see it, but it seems to be leaning just a little bit too much towards me. Okay, let's let that dry. Now I got 2 more of these pizza guys left, but I can't see where they're supposed to go. All right. Okay, if I look ahead on the manual here, I can see where these other 2 pieces go. They drop down into holes that are actually in these pieces here. This one and this one have to be nipped off and fastened here and here. I guess a good idea might be to paint them before I glue them on. I might just brush paint them. I don't know. It seems to me I tried that once before and it didn't look too good because there was a noticeable difference between the texture from the brush versus the airbrush. Anyway, that's where these guys go. Okay, here we are, B8 and B12. And do I airbrush them or do I paintbrush them? And I guess we'll know in the next episode because we have basically run out of time here. All right, here we go. Thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we'll see you tomorrow.